Okay, it is Wednesday, July 21st. And Megan, you are just phoning it in these last few weeks. Um, for today, for the third day in a row, you recycled vaccine hesitancy talking points when the topic at the start of the show was Rand Paul and Dr. Fauci exchanging words in a congressional hearing this week. Um, I don't know why this is the lead hot topic because Rand Paul is a fucking joke. And the fact that, Fauci just told him he doesn't know what he's talking about and he should shut up. It really shouldn't be news because that's a lot of people should be saying that to Rand Paul. But you turned this into another rant on vaccine hesitancy and stop blaming Fox News for people not taking the vaccine or taking the virus seriously. Um, or the politicization of masks, or the whole thing. You really seem to be on that bandwagon of trying to defend Fox News. So, um, you know, I don't know if anybody's watching or anybody cares. But anyway, so we moved on from that to what was the second topic? It was I know we then got onto Dolly Parton, and that segment, you're correct. Dolly Parton. I mean, I listened to Dolly Parton's America as well. So you've just really used their talking points about how everyone in America loves Dolly Parton, no matter what demographic you fall into. And I like that Sonny pointed out that also everybody likes Dolly Parton, and Dolly Parton is a vaccine warrior. Helped fund Moderna and worked really hard to get people in Tennessee vaccinated, which just goes to show you, even someone as popular as Dolly Parton telling you to get a vaccine doesn't necessarily raise the vaccine rates. So again, I don't know how Joe Biden going out to, your everyday Republican and saying, hey, bud, is going to help. What was the middle topic? I know that we missed out on the woman who's accusing Bill O'Reilly of sexual allegations. She was scheduled and didn't appear. I don't know if there was some sort of legal thing so she wasn't allowed to talk. I also don't understand why the indictment, or was it arrest, of Tom Barak, the Trump advisor and part of his inaugural committee, he was arrested for basically being an agent of a foreign government in working for the United Arab Emirates, which also then bundles Jared Kushner into a whole deal because he executed a blockade of Qatar. Is that correct? And then took a bribe to lift the blockade while Barack was running some sort of interference about the whole thing. Anyway, it all sounds fishy, and it's yet another Trump official with some serious charges. And boy, they're closing in on little boy Jared. So I don't know why we didn't talk about that. And tomorrow, if we're not talking about the January 6th commission and Nancy Pelosi, rejecting two of Kevin McCarthy's nominees, so he pulled all of them off of the committee and saying she doesn't want to be bipartisan because she didn't want two clowns who voted, to overturn election results on this bipartisan committee. We'll see how that plays out. And the second topic it was mostly hot topics because you had that time to kill because your guest didn't show. It couldn't be that important. Oh, it's about identity online and people needing to be to have their identity known. And I understand why all of you were for it. I would agree with the with social media platforms vetting that the owner of the account is a real person, and claiming an identity to that. I don't agree that people need to use their real names on Facebook or on Twitter, or social media platforms. In a lot of cases, social media is a way for people in remote areas to connect with other people like them, um, and uh, and for their friends and neighbors, and for it to be publicly known that they identify in a certain way, um, could be harmful to them. And social media really becomes a lifeline for them. So I think it would be a terrible idea to force people into using, their uh, birth certificate name. Um, you know, there's also performers, drag queens and people who use pseudonyms, and I think that should be allowed. I don't think, um, you know, I was going to use Marilyn Manson as an example. I don't know why, because he's a piece of shit. But if he put a page up with his real name, that really wouldn't be about his career, because that's Lady Gaga. Let's use her, right? I'm sure that there's enough people that know that her name is Stephanie Germanotta, but people want to be a fan of Lady Gaga, not Stephanie Germanotta. So yeah, I don't think that that's necessarily the wisest idea to force people into using those names, but they should be accountable. And if they're reported as being abusive, um, those people should need to be deplatformed as well. Much like Marjorie Taylor Greene was deplatformed from Twitter this week for being a general shithead. And also, I don't know if you noticed, Megan, when she said COVID is a disease of the elderly and the obese, I believe. And when a reporter said, are you aware that children and skinny people are also dying of this? She laughed, like, ha ha ha, laughed, smiling big, and then said to the reporter, oh, you just kill me. Oh my God. Couldn't be more clueless. Maybe they'll invite her to replace you on The View.